There it is. The buttons are really, really, really tiny.
Can't you make that bigger?
No, actually I cannot.
Oh.
They're really, really... Hey everybody, it's Brad.
And I'm Christa.
With the Big Family Homestead, and I hope you are ready for another exciting and soon-to-be classic edition of Sunday Night Live. With the Big Family Homestead, of course. And when you talk about things like that, it's important to keep context. So, ladies and gentlemen, you are the chosen few who've been selected, pre-selected, to enjoy this program over other sporting events that may be happening right now.
What sporting event?
I think it's like competitive knitting.
Ah.
It'll be fun. Full contact knitting.
Ooh, that's even better.
Do they need to wear pads?
Well, they're
pads?
making them.
Like
they're
crocheted and knitted pads? That works.
Yes.
Hey everybody, I hope you guys are having a great time so far. We have got
stuff
and things planned. To be honest, there's actually a lot more that we have time for. And we had debated whether or not to kind of maybe shift a few of the topics that we wanted to bring up tonight to another night, because we figured a lot of people would be watching that other program that's on. I actually don't even think you're allowed to say it. Seriously, you can't say the word. Because I remember vaguely, like it was either last year or the year before, that was a trademarked word, and that your video would be demonetized if you mentioned it.
Okay.
So don't.
I won't, because I honestly,
I don't care.
I don't care.
I don't care. So anyway, lot going on. You are in the presence of greatness, and I know you're saying, Brad, whenever you're on TV, it's always...
Where?
I can fight back.
You always do.
Would you like me to?
No.
Then that's your one. You get your one.
Oh, come on. How many do you get? How many jabs do you get? Lots.
None without reprisals.
That is true.
So anyway, say hi to everybody, Mama.
Hi, everybody. All right, Diane Branscombe Farm, Jennifer Franks. Hello, Jennifer. Richard Barnes, Butterfly Enterprises, The Way Today, WV Prepared Mind, Liber Lady. I will get that right one of these days. Big Sky Dreamer, Drive Shaft Drew, Jerome B. Farm and Homestead, Tyler Woods, Alicia. I'm not even going to try to pronounce her name. Dubois. Homestead.
It's Dubois.
Yes.
Yeah.
Samson Farms, Bev Cramp, Butterfly Enterprises, Miss Renee, Nebo Allen, Whitetail Hollow Acres, Northern Ohio's Little John, Food Forest Permaculture, and that's everybody is same people.
All right, so
Hi,
welcome. Quick recap before we get to our topics for the evening. First of all, as you know, or maybe you don't know, tonight we're going to give you an update on the truck. We're going to give you an update on preparedness. We're going to talk some serious preparedness, and actually we want to highlight a few different things that I really want to just bear with me, because I don't want to let the cat out of the bag just yet. Oh, and we talked about that before. Why would you ever shove a cat in a bag?
Why would you put a cat in a bag?
He was a bad cat.
I don't know.
Take him over to your neighbor's house and let him out. I don't know.
Our cats are awesome.
Our cats.
They are great cats.
Flash and thunder.
Yeah. I give them treats every once in a while.
Oh my gosh, this was ridiculous today, actually, though.
So, okay, we have 2 dogs that stay in the house, right? And we have our 2 cats that are in the barn. Well, the cats do a really good job of keeping away the rats and the mice. And birds, you know, they get a bird occasionally.
They are stone cold killers.
They really are. So I give them a treat every time. Moles. I cut. I take out a roast out of the freezer, and I thaw it, and I cut off the bone. I give them the bone, and I give them all that fat, and they love it. It's gone in minutes.
So the point that's my funny, really? I'm like, so she's saving the bones for the cats, not our dogs.
No, because the dogs are inside dogs, and they'll make a huge mess with it.
Anyway.
So yeah,
we are here. We're ready to rock and roll. But let's go ahead and recap a little bit of stuff that's going on. This week was incredibly cold.
Yeah. Let's just say...
Wait, who's got the lowest temperature? Because I know there's people north of us that watch. I know for sure.
Yeah, I want to see the lowest temperature that you guys got this past week.
Yeah, who's got the
those in the north. The south, I know you guys got cooler temperatures, but nothing like what we got up here.
Well, we got negative 32 was the lowest.
Was the low, exactly.
And we don't count wind chill. That's just a made-up thing. We've gone over this already.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, I've had people send me information on how they actually tabulated. I'm like, you guys, somebody drank the Kool-Aid, kids. They're believing it. It's not real.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. It's just crazy.
So who's got the lowest temperature? Negative 32 was ours. But as you keep going, man, it was cold.
Yeah.
Bone chilling cold.
Okay, I want to see actual temperatures, not with the wind chill. That doesn't count because if you talk about the wind chill here, it was like negative 65 with the wind chill.
Yeah.
That doesn't count. Actual temperature.
Okay, I'm seeing 45. So far negative 45. Adventure Demo Don. He's got the giant Cupid doll so far.
Geeky Garden says we don't want to hear from them. They're in Central Florida. That's okay. I know
it doesn't bother
it's beautiful in Florida right now. So I
see, because we lived in Florida for a long
20
time.
Years, yeah.
And you know what? You can keep those summers. No, thank you.
Yeah, I'll be happy to live there in January.
Maybe. And we'll be those weirdos wearing shorts the whole time.
Exactly.
You know what's funny is because today it was 33 degrees when we went to church.
Yeah. Didn't
need a coat. No big deal.
No, it was 39 when we were outside at the lake.
Yeah.
So. Yeah,
they had races on the lake with ATVs and snowmobiles and even little kids on little motor scooters. There was even one that had like the tripod kind of deal. So like, cute. Because the kid, I doubt that kid was 5. He probably was not even 5 years old.
Okay, timeout with the temperatures. Incense Shop says it was negative 100.
No.
I want to know where you're at and if that's the actual temperature.
Cannot be.
Yeah.
Wind chill doesn't count there in
No, wind chill doesn't count. No. But it reached 39 degrees, possibly 40 today. And it was literally, it felt warm. It was weird.
Yeah.
And we're standing on the lake.
Watching these people scoot around.
Yeah.
And it was a crazy thing. I mean, Wisconsin does extreme winter sports pretty well, I'd say.
Right.
I mean, and later I went out and I saw some guys driving on it, and they're just out there doing donuts and just lighting it up, just all around the lake.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we've got that video coming out. I think that's going to come out on Tuesday. You know, what I was surprised at was just how dang fast they get those things going.
My goodness. Yeah.
Special tires.
The back tires it almost looked like they had steel spikes in the rubber treads. And then the front tires had just two ridges. It was really strange how the tire was.
Michigan Daffodil says, I didn't send the wind chill info because I believe it. But you know,
I didn't send the wind chill info because I believe it.
It was interesting.
Because it's interesting.
It was, and thank you.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, and so it'll be a fun thing to watch that, because I just couldn't believe how dang fast they got them going, because they made a pretty nice sized track.
Yes, it was really neat. There was one guy that ate it though.
We did see one guy on a motorcycle, but he didn't get hurt bad enough, because I mean I felt bad for the guy because he had to be like 300 yards from where all the trailers and stuff were, and he wiped out way out there.
Wiped out on the other side.
I'm leaning in and I'm like, what a long, hard walk of shame that must be in front of all of his buddies, and it was only 2 motorcycles in this particular heat, so it's like they must have had some kind of mechanical thing go down.
Maybe, yeah. So.
Yeah. So, okay, it has been cold. That is acknowledged, and it's supposed to be snowy coming up soon.
Yeah, we're supposed to get a 1/12 of an inch tomorrow.
But what's weird is it's 99% chance that we'll get that snow.
Right.
But 1/12 of an inch. You know what? 1/12 of an inch is the equivalent of me having a nice hot cup of coffee and walking out going,
there you go. Here's your 1/12 of an inch. No,
there it is.
I don't understand how these forecasters can guess on or give an educated guess on how much snow we're supposed to get next week.
Yeah.
That just, whatever.
All right, so we did have an incident with our cow, Macy.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun. Well.
All right, so I'm inside. I'm helping the kids clean up. Brad and the other kids are outside. And he calls me. He's like, you need to get your bandages and stuff like that. Macy's got an issue.
Yep.
Okay, we can do that. So takes me 10 minutes to get my gear on because what was it? 20 something below?
Yeah, it was cold. It was cold.
Yeah, so it was really cold. So I get on my gear and I get the supplies, the hydrogen peroxide.
Hold on one second.
Yeah.
I didn't want to do anything with her in terms of milking until we had assessed what we were going to do.
True.
Because it's a vacuum milker. Mm-hmm. We don't milk by hand, and it's a vacuum milker. So, like, I'm thinking if we put any kind of vacuum on this thing, that's gonna be bad. It'll make whatever, even if it's small, a heck of a lot worse.
Yeah.
So we didn't do that.
Yeah. Yeah. So, you know, I get out there, I look at it, assess what's going on, I clean it up and bandage it. And so she is doing fine. We think what might have happened is, and I don't know how this happens, but a friend of ours who has a dairy farm said that occasionally one of their cows will step on their teat as they're getting up. How in the world that happens, I have no idea.
They're incredibly gifted.
Apparently they're gifted.
They're limber. Like cats.
Right.
Once in a while they get that leg up there and they...
Stop that. Don't do that. Don't.
Little cleaning.
Don't do that.
Macy's gifted.
No. So we think that she might have stepped on it or one of the other cows stepped on it. So who knows what happened, but she's healing. It's scabbed over, but we're still putting some Neosporin and some bandages on there. And the bandage that we have on there is, it's stretchy. And it's not the stuff that you get.
It doesn't stick like a tacky,
right,
gluey stick.
It sticks to itself and only to itself. It doesn't stick to anything else, it's a great thing. And so, we put that on there.
Yeah. But, so she's on bed rest and
bed rest my foot
and doing well. She's kicking back with little, chicken noodle soup.
No, she's not.
She's funny.
She is, goodness gracious.
Yeah.
So anyway, she's doing fine.
The end.
The end.
You need not to look at that so much.
I know. I just got distracted. Sorry.
Yeah. But so, okay.
She's her usual...
crotchety.
Stop talking about crocheting again, okay? She's her usual... Grumpy self, yes. She is a very grouchy cow.
I'll tell you what, though. When there is heavy machinery around, like if we'll have some hay delivered, she comes like possessed cow. It's the weirdest thing. She hates it.
Yeah.
And she'll be like, bah! She makes this sound that's
she's a sheep.
Like a massive goat.
She is yelling at this piece of machinery. She doesn't like our ATVs. She does not like it when our friend brings over hay and he's got his big old tractor. She hates it. So
if she could spit fire out of her udders, she would do it.
She would. She probably would run at it if it weren't for the electric fence.
She doesn't know that it's really not connected now.
It's really not. We're not exactly. There's so much snow.
It's grounded out.
And it's grounded out so bad. But they're not going through it. So they're doing well.
Yeah. Sharon Stevens says, "Thank you. I can make bread and biscuits now."
Oh, I'm so glad.
And you know what we're gonna do this week? Italian bread.
French bread.
That's right. No, you said Italian.
I said French bread. I didn't say Italian bread.
I asked you like 4 times, did I spell Italian right?
Honey, I know that.
After we were talking about the bread.
I know that. But I wrote on there French bread. I sent him an email with French bread. It's okay. So, folks, when you see the...
It's on the intro of this video.
I know, and I looked at it 40 times and still didn't click until you just now said it.
She just waited till now.
No, it's just...
When I could have fixed it while she was sitting right here. Yay.
Yes. Down east winds. Yes, it will be with sesame seeds. They are our favorite.
Yes. Yes. So it is not Italian bread, which is spelled Italian.
Mm-hmm. It's French bread, which is spelled French.
You know what's funny about it, though, actually, is, well, I am admittedly not a good speller of words. Mm-hmm. I have never been.
You don't have time for that.
Well, yeah. Spelling's for the weak. Spelling, that's for the weak. No. The funny thing is that I've been using high-end video programming, like editing programs, ever since they pretty much were available to the general public when they were still like $900 for just the software. And so I've been using them for the past 20, 25 years, you know, when it was just like, okay, I got a hard drive that's got 50 megabytes on it.
It's this big.
You know? And so it's crazy because all of the time that I've been using this software, you have titling programs. So you're like titling your program, you know, titling. Maybe I'm making a recipe or whatever. They don't have spell check.
No.
The high-end ones.
That's insane.
They don't have spell
so
check.
Insane.
And so I'm notorious for spelling things wrong. Mm-hmm. As a matter of fact, this is side note, funny. Squirrel trail.
You don't have those.
Oh, no, never. Not me. Mine are more like, I don't know, rabbit trails. I don't know. I used to work for a large motivational company who will remain nameless, but they were motivational. And they would basically roll into an arena in town, give away all these tickets for free so you could see all these massively, you know, masters of the universe type people like Tony Robbins and Zig Ziglar, Colin Powell, and Peyton Manning.
Peyton?
Yeah. And so I had to make a lot of the video stuff for it, or record them, you know, after they would do their little talk, they'd come down into the bowels of the stadium and we would do an interview, and then they would sell that. They would sell motivational masters, and you can be a genius too. And just if you give us a lot of money, and then we sell you a subscription for that. But side of that, one of the things I had to do was I would make the LED rings. You know, like the big stadiums, how they have all those
360 rings, not LED rings.
They are LED rings.
Oh, I thought you called them 360 rings.
They are both. Okay. They're 360 degrees, and they're also LEDs.
Okay, fine.
So, and you know, all those cool graphics and stuff that would go up there, I would make those, and when we'd roll into town, it'd be like, here's your file. And then the guy that would run it would just put whatever up that I did. And once again, they don't have spell check. So, I actually misspelled the name of the company. Instead of motivated, it was Motive Ted. And fortunately, I had just enough time to fix it.
Oh my.
I mean, I had that laptop out there and I'm sweating bullets. Tick, 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 you know.
Oh,
but we got it. Anyway, back to homesteading things.
Northern Ohio's Little John says spelling. It's impatient, not impatient.
What?
I don't know. It's just funny. It was funny.
I don't get it. Okay.
Because you're impatient to spell correctly.
Oh.
Yeah.
There we go.
Sorry.
Anyway, other stuff that's going on. We have been sprouting greens like crazy people.
Mm-hmm. We got lots of green stuff sprouting.
Making videos on how you can be a little bit healthier and grow food even if you don't have light or even soil.
Right.
You can have a garden in your kitchen.
Yeah, these sprouts are sprouting in buckets. It's actually kind of cool. Ice cream buckets.
Yeah. All righty, ladies and gentlemen, it's come to that portion of the evening when it is not only permitted for you to go ahead and share, tell who you're watching, what channels you like. Maybe it's even your own channel. You can absolutely do that. And we're going to go ahead and you start typing. Type. And Mama's going to do her best to read as many of these channel shout-outs as she possibly can. But here we go.
The shout, you gotta go back to
No, we can't. Now it's too late. You know what our shout out is. This is not the way this normally goes.
No. We're having technical difficulties.
We are. So read, Mama. Tell them.
Okay, I will try as soon. Can you sprout ice cream?
That's not a channel.
That's not a channel. Paradise Acres out of Goshen, RIG Outdoors, Inside the Hem, 50 Ducks in a Hot Tub, Almost Homestead, Life in the UP, PNC Atkinson, Limna Acres, Making Sawdust, Living Garden, Adventure Demo Dawn 2018, Homestead, Tessie Coghill, Dustin Dean, Prepsteader Bob, Living Traditions, Mama Grows, Picture Mom, Chronically, I don't know, Buckin' Billy Bray, funny.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, Living Traditions, Prepsteader Bob, Joint Chiefs of Prep Commander Rich. I wish your title was a little bit shorter. It's hard to read. Liberty Kids, yes. Parsnips and Parsimony, Simply Living Alaska. Girl in the World, BFH, thank you. Little Bits of Heaven Homestead.
Okay.
Collared,
Alrighty. She's got a mouthful of something. She's got a mouthful of something. Here.
It's not.
Have
Yeah,
another
I might
cough
need
lozenge.
I need another one of those.
All right, so we tipped our hand earlier. Boy, that was a mistake. See, because I'm trying to put all this stuff together. You don't want to know the tech stuff. It doesn't matter.
He starts at like 3 o'clock to get all this stuff ready.
Yeah, but it's worth it. I'm here for you. So here's the scoop. Lately, we've not been doing YouTube channels because we figure you guys are sharing a lot of YouTube channels, and we would be sharing similar channels. So there you go. So we've been trying to share little chunks of our life with, you guys with stuff that we like. And lately in the homeschooling world, we are starting to get into different periods of history that include early American history.
Exactly. So Liberty's Kids is one of the YouTube channels. There's also another one, Liberty's Kids TV, that has all of these 23-ish minute commercial cartoons all about history. Boston Tea Party, all the Boston Massacre, all of them. Of course, they don't show the actual massacre.
That's not so fun for cartoons.
No, it's really not. But they talk about it, and they relate it down to where, 5, 6, 7, 10-year-olds can understand it. And it's really, really cool. So our kids have started watching it, even though we're not at that point in our history lessons just yet, but they really enjoy it.
So yeah, and if you know of or you are a homeschooling family, it's a great resource because they don't overwhelm you with a bunch of extraneous details. They stick straight close to the facts, which I am honestly shocked about because it was originally put together, I think, by PBS.
I don't remember who put it. I know
it used to be on PBS.
Yeah, it came out in 2002 and went through 2003 on PBS. And our oldest kids used to watch it, but then it was off the air, and it just recently came on to YouTube. I think. Yeah,
they're not airing it anymore.
Right. So all of the episodes are on YouTube, which is great.
Although I will say I was a little bit happy and a little bit sad when we were looking at the YouTube channel of it, because our channel has a lot more subscribers and most of our videos that have been around that long have a lot more views, and I'm like, yay, but
Yeah, just disappointing that, not more people know
about it.
So
yeah.
that was why we, started talking about it.
Yeah, so, if that's your thing, or, somebody that needs manageable, bite-sized pieces of history, I don't find them insane like history is taught today.
Right.
So, anyway, there you go. There's our channel shout out. Now, first things third. Let's talk a little bit about our...
First things third?
I can't be responsible for the words that are coming out of my own mouth.
Yeah, of course not.
What I want to do, I'm going to do things a little bit out of order tonight. That's weird, right?
Yeah.
Out of order. You're out of order. The whole system's out of order. I don't know. Okay, here's the scoop.
Handle the truth. Sorry.
I want to, we're going to actually jump into our main topic right here in just a second. But don't forget, live cooking show, Thursday. We never told the time.
2 o'clock.
2 o'clock.
Central time.
And we're making French bread.
Yes.
Not
Italian bread.
Not Italian bread.
French bread.
French bread. And just basically have, water, salt, flour. It's all the basic stuff.
Yeah. Water, salt, sugar, flour, and yeast.
Yes.
So.
Okay.
And then a cookie sheet.
Right. And the other thing is, you know what? No, we're going to go straight into our new little bit. And our bit is kind of a shout out, but it really is more than that. Okay. We have been really trying to refocus our efforts on what is our state of preparedness. Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, before we go any further, no, I did not just grow a third eye here. It's okay. Calm down. We're not crazy. We just really like to eat. Look, the reality is stuff happens in the world. The abnormality in the world is that there is peace as long as we have had it, as long as we've enjoyed it here in this country. That is not normal. If you go and look at history, superpowers, countries, regimes, there's turnover all the time. Revolutionary wars happen. You're talking conflicts between countries. How about this? Let's not even go political at all. Good years and bad years for food production. What about things like, I don't know, when there's supply issues in terms of transit? What if goods and services can't get from here to there because there's a problem with the roads or trucks or unions or this or that? We have been enjoying a long period of prosperity that is not usually this good this long. So we don't even have to go down conspiracy row to understand that it's probably a very good thing for us to have insurance in terms of food, shelter, warmth, basic life stuff. I'm constantly baffled that people will say, you're crazy. Why would you want to have, a few months of food on hand, or know that you can get water, or, that you'll be able to heat your house throughout the winter? That's crazy. Why would you want to have 6 months of that on hand? And then I say, well, wait a minute, hold on. You insure your cars, you insure your home, and you insure the contents. You pay for this, and that. You got mortgage insurance. You got all of these crazy things of insurance. But then when you go, you know what? Might be a good idea to have some food on that and on the shelves. Then you're all of a sudden, oh, what a wacko person. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
So when we talk about preparedness, you got to understand a couple things. Number one, it's practical. This is regular, should be life stuff for everybody. It's not crazy land. We're not thinking Nibiru's going to crash into the planet and we're all going to burn up. Because if there was actually a Nibiru, which is probably, no, it is insanity. But if it actually was real, then we're all going to burn up anyway, right? So you don't need food prep then, unless we're gonna go drill underground and be with the gray alien people that live down there, which is also crazy. See, now watch the numbers real quick. How fast did they drop? We'll know who left, and we'll be able to triangulate who they are.
More people showed up.
So, anyway, you don't have to go to crazy land to think, man, oh man, it's probably a good idea for me to know I've got food here. Or how about this? Protecting what is yours.
Right.
We pay for insurance for all this stuff, but if all of a sudden there was mayhem and people are hurting and starving, I want to know that I can help out my neighbors.
Yeah.
Number one, I want to be able to know that them, and them, they're going to be taken care of, and we'll be able to help each other out. And absolutely, I want to be able to do that. But if there are bad people that are coming to try to hurt your family, you better be ready to protect yourself. Yeah. And so with that, I want to highlight a book that is actually written by a person who is in this live chat right now.
Yep.
You have seen this person comment many, many, many times, always either very witty or very smart or very sassy.
Yes.
And that would be the one, the only, Tyler Woods, dun, 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 author of 11th Hour Preparedness. I feel like I should say it like Doom, like that. Even though it's not. I'm going to tell you about this book, but it's not. 11th Hour Preparedness. And then lava should fall out of here.
Oh, no.
Not on our computer. But making choices while we still can.
Yeah.
And this book, first of all, there's a link in the video description for the Amazon link.
Yep.
It's only $13, people.
Yep.
This book is really, really well written, and I'm not saying that because he's here, because we got to know him long before we even knew he wrote books.
Oh, yeah.
And so I feel completely exonerated in any favoritism in any way, because we knew him a lot longer before this. But what I find that I really like about this book specifically is he covers a ton of topics, but he doesn't go ad nauseum into any which one. This is like shotgun blast. You're going to get a little bit of everything, enough to get you going, enough facts and reasoning behind it. Yeah. I mean, he's been in the Air Force. He knows his stuff, but that's not the reason why I really appreciate this book and him specifically more than any other thing, and that's this. Now there are folks who would probably say this is a negative, but I'm going to ignore them. It's that he's retired clergy. And now why would you say, oh gosh, Brad, that's exactly who I want writing my preparedness books? Well, in my mind, it absolutely is.
Oh, yeah.
For a lot of reasons. The first being that he brings a unique perspective to the table. So, number one, he's not going to fly off the handle and just be like, all right, let's dig a bunker, everyone get in and shoot anything that moves, including and especially children. He's not going to give you that. There are people that do. Not him. And so you're going to get a level-headed approach on preparedness with this book. You're also going to get the reason for doing it in the first place. Here's the deal, guys. Let's say that, some major cataclysm happened. Let's say that a meteor hit somewhere in the world and now economic systems are completely in chaos. Effectively, the government's not working. Okay? I cannot imagine what hell on earth that would be. But what I can tell you is this, is that if you have to do horribly sinful, despicable, hate-filled things just to save your own skin, why bother doing it? He talks about that in this book too. And we're going to continue on talking about preparedness, but this was a perfect way for me to start. There's a link down there. Yep. Again, it's a cheap book. It's a good book. Well worth having.
And I like that I don't have to put on my reading glasses to read it. So, this is awesome.
He also has, by the way, some other books. Ragnarok is one. And no, it's not the Avengers. It's kind of funny because when I was telling him about the Ragnarok movie, he didn't even know that it was a movie. I was like, yeah, you might want to get a little bump advertising push on that. Yeah. But anyway, there's the book. Well worth your time. Now, preparedness, guys. We are smack dab coming out of the coldest week that we have ever experienced in our lives.
That we've never experienced this cold of temperatures before.
Yep. Now, here's the scoop. It was the night that it was going to be, had not yet been, but was going to be negative 32 degrees. Mm-hmm. For whatever reason, we're getting ready to go to bed, and
the heat's not working. The furnace, the backup furnace. Now, okay, we have a wood fire or wood stove in the basement, and we have a limited amount of wood left. We don't have a ton, so
we saved it for emergency.
We wanted to save it in case there's a power outage, because sometimes when it gets to this extreme cold, and a lot of people are running their heaters really super hot, the power can go out. Electric, yes. So we wanted to save that wood heat in case of that. So we ran our backup propane furnace, and
3 backups.
Yeah, we do have 3 backups. Yes, we have backups for our backups for our backups. Anyway, it wasn't kicking on.
So
it
was like
out.
She was definitely having a moment.
I was having a moment. I was freaking out because I'm thinking, okay, we don't have a lot of wood, and this fire is not coming on, or this furnace is not coming on, and what are we going to do? But
right.
He fixed it.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
Okay. Fixing the furnace is not the point of what I want to go with.
I know.
But yeah, it was a little patience. It was pull the thing off, look for resets.
Yeah.
And that's all it happened to be. It just needed to be reset. But the issue is, all right, what were the possibilities had we not had a little wood on hand?
Right.
And, we have electric plug into the wall heaters.
We do.
And we have propane, but we also have a 100-pound propane cylinder with a heater that can heat up to 1,200 square feet.
Yes. So we do have another backup propane furnace that we had out in the bus. So that's
right. And so I knew that no matter what, even if 2 more of our issues happened and didn't work, we were still going to be fine.
Right.
And so I have peace knowing that, you know what, stuff can happen and stuff does happen. Yep. Things happen. Yep. And that had nothing to do with a government issue or transportation issue, just happened.
Right.
Mechanical failure.
Yeah.
Well, what we thought. It just had to be reset.
It had a weird glitch.
Right.
So.
But the issue is, a lot of people go, well, aren't you freaked out about this or that, or you don't have, you know what? No. Having preparedness in your world brings me more peace than you can imagine.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm not talking spiritual peace, because that's a Jesus thing, and we have that because we have God in our lives. But this is a separate issue.
Right.
When I know that I have 3 or even 4 systems that are going to make sure that my family are not going to be freezing to death in this kind of temperature, that brings peace.
Yeah.
And so when we're talking preparedness, number 1, I'm not crazy. I just like to eat. Stuff happens. You know what? There should be a Brad top 10 version of why you should prepare.
I like to eat.
Yeah, I'm not crazy. I just like to eat. That would be in there. Number 2, stuff happens.
Yeah, stuff happens. I mean, and it's not power grid. It's not zombie apocalypse. It's not, what if you lose your job?
What if your neighbor loses your job?
What if your neighbor loses their job?
You're not going to let them go starving.
This has happened to us before. What if you have a child who is sick in the hospital for 3 weeks? This happened to us.
Yeah.
We were not prepared for this. This was back in 2009.
Yeah.
This was before we started doing any of this. Thank the Lord. Our church sent us dinners every night.
Thank God.
Yeah. And so, okay, snowstorms, that happens here. Flooding, that happens. Not necessarily right here, but it happens in our society.
And it's just
tornadoes.
What do they call
hurricanes,
those? Natural disasters.
Natural
just
disasters.
Happens.
This stuff happens, and to be prepared for those kinds of events is really important.
Here's one that I will admit we do not do as often as we need to. And we do, but not as often as we need to. How about this? Practicing a fire drill with your children.
Right.
How do you get out of the house?
Right.
Okay, what if there's a fire here? Well, what do you do? Well, first you're going to touch the door to make sure it's not hot.
Right.
Before you even open the door.
Touch the handle.
There's common sense stuff. He goes over a lot of that in these books. There's a lot of resources out there that are either very affordable or free that are out there. And I mean, most, even when we're talking about fire preparedness, I know that where we live, that if you say I can't afford a smoke detector, the fire department will give you one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they'll come and install it for you.
Yep.
At least that's what our local one does.
But, obviously you can't think everything through. That's why you need resources that go, oh, I really didn't think about that. It never even occurred to me that we would have to have, grab the book, please.
Yes.
Community groups.
Right.
And then he goes over extensively, how do you form a community group? What is it going to benefit you? How's it going to work? How do you avoid crazy people while you're still actually in a cohesive group?
Right.
All kinds of different things that are just super, super beneficial, and stuff I would not have thought of.
Right.
And that's why you want to reach out and try to get some of these kind of resources, because you're not going to think of everything. We're not going to think of everything. It's just...
In the heat of a chaotic moment, a lot of people lose their mind.
They freak out.
They freak out. And that is the case with Brad and I. Okay, he does not freak out. I tend to be the one that freaks out a little bit when a kid gets really cut or hurt. Our oldest son David broke his arm, fell and broke his arm, and it's like hanging, and it was really gross.
Don't worry about this.
Take
I
a
gave
breath.
her a mission. I said, this is what I need you to do.
This is what you need to do.
This is what you're going to do. This is what you're going to do.
Exactly. And I need him to do that in my life, because I'm sure if he were not...
You'd handle it.
I'm sure I could handle it. But it just...
Hey, guess who's here? Dave 215.
Hey, Dave.
What's up,
how's
Dave?
it going?
We know him from the Ohio days.
Yeah.
Hope you and your son are doing well.
Yeah. Anyway.
Point is preparedness.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there are obviously resources out there that are affordable. There's resources that are, a little more upscale, and then there's resources that are kind of like, this is the best of the best kind of thing. And sometimes you want to have some of those, and sometimes you can get away with, doing the either free or cheap kind of preparedness things. And for those of you guys who are out there going, you know what? I never even really thought about just transportation issues. What do you guys realize that most grocery stores, 3 days.
3 days.
That's all the food they have on hand.
Yep.
3 days worth of food.
Yeah.
So anytime if there's a real crisis, that's going to be a lot of hungry people. Mm-hmm. And if the trucks don't resupply for whatever reason,
done.
SOL, baby.
That's right.
You're eating ketchup packets or whatever it is that you got at home.
Right. Yeah. So, just have a few weeks of stuff, some rice and some beans and, just some stuff to keep you going until you can get resupplied.
Well, and here's the thing. If you have not already start with your pantry, okay? Mm-hmm. Because it's an easy thing that everybody can do with only a very small amount of money. Mm-hmm. Search out
dollar store.
I was going to say food pantries.
Food pantries.
There are a lot of food pantries in different areas of the country that you can go and get a lot of food for a very small amount of money or free. Like there's one here in Medford called Ruby's Pantry.
Yes, Ruby's Pantry. I can't remember the name of the website. Let me look it up. But Ruby's Pantry, you can go and get 2 laundry baskets.
Overflow of food.
For $20.
2
baskets for $20. So $10 a basket. It's $20. You can get many of those. You can get 5 of those if you'd like. It doesn't matter. There's no limit on the amount of sets of things that you can get. So if I wanted to go in there and spend $100, I will get 10 baskets of food.
Yeah.
Okay, and toiletry type stuff, toilet paper, paper towels. We have gotten so many things there. It's amazing. I mean, it really helps us out.
Yeah, those resources are out there is the point. But if you have not started a pantry, think about the stuff that's cheap. Okay, everybody starts out with the rice and beans. Well, there's a reason for that, guys. Rice lasts a really long time.
Yeah.
Beans last even longer. If you never have to use them, you can leave them, just the way they are, and then their shelf life is going to be years, several years. Well, if you went to that next level and maybe went to a restaurant, supply place, we started out getting the 50-pound bags of rice, and then what we do, like everybody else did, we went and got the Mylar bags, and the oxygen absorbers, and we sealed them up just like you've seen videos on, and you put them in your 5-gallon buckets, and then that just sits there, and I know that's going to be good for 10 years.
Oh yeah.
Yep,
we ran out of flour, and we didn't have time to get to the store before we were going to do a live stream. So I'm like, okay, we've got buckets downstairs. It killed me having to open it. But we had packaged this flour up in 2012.
And it's just fine.
And it was fine.
No problem.
Totally fine. White flour, not wheat flour. It was white flour. So it was great. It was great.
So, and there's a lot of people too that we hear that say, I can't afford to do any prepping because we're on such a tight budget. Okay, well, I understand. Trust me, we've had to pray in faith for toilet paper in the past when you just don't have anything. I can't afford to pay attention.
Right.
And that's the reality. Sometimes that is the reality. But if you can scrimp aside $1, you can get rice. If you can scrimp aside $3, you can get rice and then beans.
Right.
And that stretches.
Make a small sacrifice on some luxury item. Like if you have to go to Starbucks and get a coffee every week or every day, how about not go...
Just don't get the Starbucks.
Go 3 times a week and save the money from those other 2 times a week. And that's probably $10 or $15 right there with those 2 days. I don't know. I don't go to Starbucks, but...
Or do one, or don't go to Starbucks at all. Get your coffee at the gas station.
There you go.
And then you're going to save $4 or $5 right there. Stick that money aside.
Right.
Poof, you got your prep money that didn't have to get taken from somewhere else.
Exactly.
And you still get your Java.
Exactly. Yeah. We did. Nicole said they switched to unpaper products. We switched from using paper towels years ago. We have not used paper towels, I think, in 6 or 7, maybe 8 years. And it has saved our family so much money. We use wash rags to wash the dishes.
Yep.
We have drying towels. And so that's what we use. We don't use paper towels anymore. Oh, and for... I have Norwex rags to clean the glass, so we don't use paper towels for that either.
Yeah.
But
anyway. Well, and Phoebe's mentioning, off-brands. We're huge fans of generics.
Yeah. Oh, there was a question earlier asking if I did coupons.
No.
Never do coupons.
We tried many times.
Tried and failed miserably. What we end up doing is we shop at Aldi a lot. And we buy off-brand on everything. We don't buy the name brand stuff. We buy Walmart brand or Aldi. Aldi's, if you can find an Aldi nearby, please shop there.
At least give it a try, because they pretty much only, there's very few products that are not the Aldi branded generic. However, they're good.
Yes.
I will not buy a generic if it's noticeably ick.
Right.
We just won't do it.
Right.
But what we're finding out is that a lot of the stuff we don't buy it anymore. We've got our prep set up. We've got all that stuff.
Yeah.
We don't buy any food in boxes. We buy single word ingredients. And what we get at Aldi, their fresh produce is the best deal around.
It is the best deal around. Their chicken is the best deal around.
Oh, yeah.
When it's on sale, you can a lot of times get it for 70 cents a pound.
No lie.
Yeah. Their normal price is $1.70 a pound for chicken breasts that are 2 inches thick.
Oh, yeah.
And this big
It's
around.
practically a turkey.
Well, what I end up doing to save a lot of money is I cut those into 3 cutlets.
Yeah.
So out of a package of 10 chicken breasts, I get 30 cutlets. And that saves our family so much money. And then we're not wasting all this food. We're not making, 4 and 5 chicken breasts when we'll only eat 2. So
now, one quick thing before we kind of move on, because I'm noticing we don't have much more time left tonight.
Yeah.
You guys know that one of the things that we'll talk about the truck soon, but we ran out of time.
Yeah.
We will, I promise.
Yeah.
And it's not done yet, believe it or not.
No, it's not.
It's
quite.
not done.
Almost.
But we'll update you soon.
Yeah.
But that is that, and we won't spend a lot of time on this because we know that you guys, most of you know this, but we sell freeze-dried food. Now, we are Thrive Life consultants. If you're interested in finding out how to set that up for a business of your own, there's a link down in the description below. But we have access to this food that, by the way, when you're a consultant and you sell stuff, you also get free stuff, which is pretty much the big reason why we do it. Because our pantry is stocked with everything from mangoes to yogurt to chicken, and it's all single word ingredients. It's not like monosodium salt and this and but it's freeze dried.
The beef is really good too.
And that stuff, the majority of it, not all of it, but the majority of it is good for 25 years unopened, and it stays as healthy in terms of nutrition as the day you bought it.
Yep. Yeah. That's awesome. I love it. The bananas.
Oh.
We can go through.
It's candy.
I should say our kids go through a can of bananas in about a week.
Yeah.
They absolutely love it, but we kind of put the kibosh on that because we can get fresh bananas for a lot cheaper right now. So we're like, okay, slow down a little bit. Slow down. Those are for our preps. Just slow down.
Yeah.
So,
but the long story short is, the Thrive stuff, the freeze-dried stuff, that's not the bulk of what we do in terms of our long-term food storage, just because, frankly, it's not the cheapest stuff. I can go buy a bunch of rice, or I can buy, a small thing of chicken.
Right.
Well, and while we have our own animals and we process our own animals, that's great and all, but, would I rather have, what we use Thrive for our personal stuff for is the things that we cannot either get cheap, locally, or are really hard for us to grow. For example, like strawberries. We get a lot of strawberries that are freeze-dried because we could probably grow strawberries, but pain in the butt.
Yeah.
Not a long growing season here.
Right, exactly. Our growing season is about 100 days. That's all we get. So, I mean, we could, and I'm sure strawberries would overwinter, but you're going to have to heavy straw them. And so it's just easier for us to just get the strawberries freeze-dried, and they're delicious.
Right. And so, for example, though, we do raise our own cows and process them, so we don't spend a lot of money on the beef, even though it's great. They're really, really great. We don't spend a lot of money on the chicken because we have that.
Right.
So we don't put a lot in that.
Right.
We put a lot into things that, like I said, are either really hard to get for us or hard to grow.
Right. Pineapple.
Pineapple.
We can't grow pineapple.
There's no way.
No. Mangoes, papayas. What is it? What are some of the other things that we get? Strawberries. Celery. We get celery.
The onions. I haven't cut onions in 2 years.
Yeah.
I have not chopped an onion in 2 years.
No, I know you haven't. I still like, sometimes I like fresh onions for certain things. Like I made beef stroganoff tonight for dinner or this afternoon. And so a fresh onion is really good for that. But the Thrive onions are great for a quick throw in. But
so not going to belabor that. If you're interested, check it out. Like I said, it's honestly it's not for everybody, but it's an excellent supplement to what we're doing for a lot of reasons. There's a lot of great reasons why you would want to have freeze-dried food on hand. But there you go. That's all done. So, oh, geez, oh, Pete's.
I know.
I've chatted it up, and now we've only got 5 minutes left. So here's the thing. We will give you guys an update on the truck soon. Once again, get a copy. It's totally worth your time. And I mean, I've started highlighter marking it in there. So, and isn't it cool to be in the presence of greatness? The author is in the chat.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
Hey, can you digitally sign my copy right now, Tyler?
He already did.
Would that be all right?
He already did.
No, that's not his name. I'm kidding. It's his name.
You punk.
No, I want you. Can you sign that one there? I need you to sign that page. Yeah. Actually, there's a lot of great stuff in here. I want him to show me. Oh shoot.
Bang.
No, I'll ask you later. I don't do that. All right, guys. So here's the scoop. We are a family of believers, and we don't want to push anybody away. We don't want to make you feel like you're unwelcome, but we also want to let you know if we didn't share this side of our lives, we would be disingenuous. So if that's not your thing, please come back next week. But we're going to talk about God now. So if you feel like you got to go, great. We'd love for you to stay. But if you're like, oh, I will raise my fist in anger.
Anger?
Yeah, don't do that. So, and we're going to head on over to Prepsteader Bob's channel here in just a little bit. But before we go, if there was some horrible thing happening in society, one of the things we try so hard to do is build community. We try to get everybody on the same page as much as we can. You can't get everybody on the same page. But the reality is if you don't have the love of God in your heart and know that Jesus has done everything for you to bring you home, you specifically, if you don't have that, all the preps in the world don't really mean much. Because the end. I mean, are you just worm food or did you pick the wrong side, And so my encouragement to you guys is that, we all know there's something wrong. Nobody has to tell you that something is wrong in society. We can feel it. It's like your pulse. You can feel there's something wrong. We can't put our finger on it, but we know it's there. And I'll tell you what it is. It's the Spirit of God saying, get ready. Prepare. Just like Joseph had to prepare to ultimately end up saving the nation of Israel. I don't know what it is. I'm not a prophet. I'm not a blah, 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 blah. I'm just telling you, we can all know it. We instinctively know that something's there. So be wise. Listen to the Holy Spirit. He wants you to be as close-knit with Him and Jesus as you can absolutely be. And that's the ultimate prep, right? That is it. There's no better prep. There is nothing better. Right. So if you haven't dusted off that Bible, dust it off. Maybe say a prayer. He loves you. And we've all been through stuff, guys. It's not whether we've been through stuff or not. It's what do you do with it? Do we surrender that to God and say, this is bigger than I can handle, I need you? Or do we just go, bah. He wants to draw you near. With that quick prayer, heading over to Prepsteader Bob's. Father God, thank you so much for all you do in our lives. I would ask, Lord, that you would just pour out your blessing in these folks, that they would just know beyond the shadow of a doubt that you love them. Help them to seek you out. Help them to just love on you. And help us to grow in our faith and grow in our readiness. It's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Alrighty, guys. Have an amazing, amazing week. And we hope to see you back soon.
Yeah.
Next week.
Yep.
So.
Have an amazing night.
Bye.